Hello yogis, welcome to Happy Yoga Life channel. Without further ado, please grab a mat. Let's start the practice. Welcome to today's Yin Yoga class. So if you do have blocks or a bolster, any props you have handy, it would be nice. We might not use all of them, but always be prepared. And if you're close to a wall, you like to do some poses, alternatives. Well, without further ado, let's just sit any pose that you feel comfortable. Either sit on the stack of blanket or a bolster. Gently close your eyes. Start to notice your breath. Feel that slightly cool air when you inhale and slightly warm air when you exhale. Now start to deepen your breath. On the inhale, let your belly rise, chest rise. And on the exhale, let it fall and melt. Just turn your palms facing upward. Sense every inhale on the expansion of your chest and exhale on the relaxation of your shoulders. Let your breath be gentle. Let your breath be smooth, but full and complete. And notice that slight pause between the inhale and exhale, and between the exhale and inhale. And maybe even pause just for 1 second between the breath. Savor that stillness. Now gently come back to your normal breathing without any control. Observe your body. Observe your mind. Now gently press your palms together in front of your heart. Let's take this opportunity to set an intention for today's practice. Keep your eyes closed. whatever intention you would like to set for today's class in the theme of letting go. Letting go of things that no longer serve you. Letting go of control. Letting go of the past. Whatever your intention. Make a statement and say that 3 times in your heart. Good. Now release your hands back to your knees and open your eyes. So today we'll have a set of asanas, poses for opening our hips. And opening hips, oftentimes it can release stuck emotions that we're even not aware of. So physically, our hips will be opened, and also the lower back will be loosened up. So first, let's start to the butterfly pose. So for the poses, I'm going to guide you into a 1 minute first, and then deepen into 3 more minute hold. So it depends on if it's a double-sided or one symmetric. So we'll go deeper over time. So first, let's just come to for butterfly pose. So keep your heels a little closer to your groin area, and this way we are stretching the inner thigh and the inner hips. So have your hands on the ankles, just start to fold over. We stay here only for 1 minute, and then we'll change to a deeper pose. So starting 1 minute. Take 3 gentle, conscious breaths. Feel your back. And then feel your groin area. There's not really push or pull. Just melt your chest toward the earth. Let your head and neck relax in a hand. Relax your shoulders. Now gently let yourself look forward and move your feet forward. It's like a diamond shape. So your feet are still having soles together, but a little away from your hips. So this will affect the outer hip region. So we stay here for 3 minutes, starting now. And this way you just walk your hands forward. And if you do have blocks handy or a bolster to support your forehead, do that so that your body can be completely relaxed. Notice if there's any tension around your shoulders, and then melt it away. Observe the sensation around your outer hips. Accept totally of your sensations. If you're using a block to support your forehead, then you can probably change the height of the block to get a little deeper. And then once your forehead rests on this next level of the height, observe the sensation in your body again. Observe your lower back. Observe the outer hips. Notice if there's any difference between the two sides of your body. Let go of the judgment of your own body and embrace the differences. Now gently use your palms to push yourself slowly upright, very slowly, and continue to observe the sensation change as your shape of body change. Then once you're upright, you can take away your block. And now we go to the half butterfly. So take your right foot close to your groin area and extend your left leg out. And it will fold forward 2 minutes each side. This will actually activate and stretch your inner thigh and the groin area. So we'll continue to stretch our hips just from a different direction. So you can walk your hands forward, come to the elbows. If your elbow is not reaching the floor, you can put elbows on the blocks. So whatever props makes you feel you are supported, use that. If you're very flexible, you can just completely melt your chest onto the floor. And just try out, experiment with your own body. Make sure there's no sharp pain. If your elbows are on the blocks, then maybe this is a time to lower down your elbows onto the floor for the next minute. So we get deeper into the pose. Or if your forehead is supported by a block, lower down the block height for the next level. Notice your breath. See if you can lengthen your exhale. When you lengthen the exhale, your body starts to relax even more. Now gently use your palms, press yourself up very slowly. Observe the sensation change as the shape of your body change. And now use your hand to fold your left knee And then use hand, you extend your right leg out. We come to the other side. So your left heel is close to your pelvic floor. And then walk your hands forward, coming to your elbows on the floor or elbows on the blocks, whichever suits you for the first minute. Sense your right inner thigh. To prevent from knee lock, you can even slightly bend your right knee and sense the difference of the shape when you bend your knees tiny bit versus not bending your knees. Now, if your elbows are on the blocks, you can change the elbows onto the floor for the next minute. You can interlace your fingers. If you have blocks to support your forehead, also do that. Whatever support your practice, embrace that support. Accept your body entirely. Now gently use your palms to push yourself upright. And next, we're going to deer pose. So use your hands to bend your knees. So your feet are about to mat width apart. And now shift your buttocks to the right side of your mat. And then let your both knees fall to the left. So you will end up, your right knee is by your left heel. So you have this box square kind of look. So supposedly both sit bones are on the floor, but it might be difficult for some people. So I would recommend if you sit on a stack of blankets, or like me, I sit on some pillows. Let's just stay here for 1 minute. And it also have a small twist. So you just put your right hand on left knee and a tiny twist for 1 minute only. And sense if there's any sensation around your left outer hip. Very nice. Now gently face your chest to your left thigh, and then we're gonna fold forward toward the left thigh, chest to melt onto the left thigh. So it might be very intense for some of you for the left outer hip. So I recommend if you have a bolster or blocks, you can support your elbows onto the blocks or bolster. For if you're comfortable enough, just totally melt onto your left thigh with your chest. And it's kind of like sleeping swan, except we don't have the straightened right leg. So here is purely for the left outer hip. We stay here for 3 minutes. So make sure you're comfortable, but you're on the edge to explore your comfort zone, to expand your comfort zone. And alternatively, if you wish to use the sleeping swan, you can always go to the sleeping swan. At any time, if you feel you need adjustment, please feel free. Embrace your bodily sensation. Observe if there's any tension in your body. Melt them away. Maybe at this time you shift your chest toward your left shin bone a little more to deepen that stretch on the left outer hip. And now slowly push yourself back up using your palms. And then come back to center. Let your knees face the ceiling, hips back to center. And now windshield wiper your legs just a few times. And then come to center. Walk your hands forward to just a forward fold for 3 breaths. Just take an inhale and feeling your back. Exhale, melt your shoulders. And then gently come back to center. Shift your buttocks to the left. So your buttocks is behind the left foot. Your both legs melt to the right. We come to the deer pose. The legs form a square. And then we just stay here, left hand on right knee, and a slight twist to the right. Nothing vigorous. Only stay for 1 minute. And gently come back to face your right thigh and fold forward from here. Melt your chest to the right thigh. Your forearms on the floor. You can just rest your forehead around your folded forearms. We stay here for 3 minutes. Feeling your right outer hip, the IT band. Now you can gently move your chest toward your right shin bone to deepen even more of the sensation on the right outer hip. Observe your body reaction. Embrace all kinds of responses. And now gently use your palms to press yourself back up and observe the sensation change as your body shape change. Come back to center and walk your palms forward, just forward fold for 3 breaths. And then press yourself back up to the center, and then we go to dragon for a little more opening on the front side of the hips. So press yourself to downward dog for a few breaths and step your feet left and right. And the next, step your right foot forward outside of your right foot, right hand. Now, I would recommend to have a stack of blanket or pillow under your left knee. So put your left knee down. So untuck the left toes. You can simply stay here. We'll stay here for 2 minutes each side, but each 1 minute I will change for a little deeper sensation. So for now, you can put your palms on the floor and simply stay here. So both palms are inside of your right foot. And just simply let yourself melt into the pose. If you have blocks, you can also put blocks under your hands to help some support. Feeling your right outer hip and the left inner hip. And now gently, if it's available to you, put your forearms onto the floor or onto the blocks. And now just relax your head and neck. We stay here for 1 more minute. If you are more flexible, you can also roll your right foot outward to get a deeper sensation on the right IT band. So your right foot will roll out to your outer edge of the right foot. But don't push yourself. Let your body does its own thing. And if your forearms on the floor, put your hand onto the floor or the blocks. Tuck the back toes. Step right foot back to downward dog. And then once you're at downward dog, sense the difference between the left and the right front thigh and your hip flexors. And then we change sides. Step left foot outside of your left hand. Lower down your right knee to the bolster or blankets. Untuck the right toes. And simply stay here for 1 minute. You don't have to strive to anywhere. Just let it sink. Let your hips sink. Observe when you inhale that expansion of your right hip flexor. And exhale, relax your hips. For the next minute, lower down your elbows so your forearms onto the floor to deepen the pose, or you can simply stay where you were to embrace the stillness. If you want to deepen the sensation of your left outer hip, you can roll your left foot outward. So the left outer edge of the foot come to contact with the mat. And then observe the sensation of left IT band. Relax your head and neck. Completely sink and enjoy the pose. And then gently push yourself back to downward dog. Do it very slowly and gently. Observe the equal sensation of your left hip flexor and right hip flexor. And then knees down to child's pose. You can put knees together. And then just relax your forehead onto the floor. You can put your arms alongside your body. Have a complete relaxation in the child's pose. We'll stay here for 1 minute. And then gently push yourself up to seated. Next, we'll go to the frog pose. You can do it on the wall or you can do it on the mat if you're not close to a wall. So if you're by the wall, you can let your buttocks sit about your knee length. And I recommend to get your buttocks on the pillow or a blanket, and then let your knees just be perpendicular to the wall and feet on the wall. Simply stay here. You can have your arms out. We'll stay here for 3 minutes, so make yourself comfortable. For people who are on the mat, I recommend you to pad your knees with pillows. That will make it more comfortable. Your shin bone is parallel to the shoulder edge, and then come to the forearms on the floor. You can interlace the fingers. So set up your pose so that you can feel an edge of sensation on your inner thigh. So we're stretching the inner hips. If you're on the floor, you can also micro move so that you find that edge. And then once you find it, melt into it. Keep your feet flexed, but not holding tension.